the spot where David was clearest on these things was an article he wrote called Cure of Souls and Modern Psychotherapies. Journal of Biblical Counseling, I think 2007. So they had 3 or 4 issues that year. Our readers can go find it. But he talked about 3 priorities whenever we engage with things that don't directly come from Scripture as we're trying to help people. He said, priority 1, we need to articulate positive biblical truth. So what that means is we need to define the question, and we need to mine Scripture first. Again, when I would have questions that I got to have meals with David, I say, David, some people get a little crunchy with me. Am I a biblical counselor? And he would say, Brad, again, I think one of our last conversations, we were at a restaurant here in Raleigh. He said, Brad, you're the kind of biblical counselor that speaks more than one language. Like biblical counseling, it's your first language. You do know other languages. He said, my encouragement to you is always to keep biblical counseling your first language. And again, same thing he's saying here. Priority 1, mine for positive biblical truth on any questions. Priority 2, when we start looking at other models or theories or approaches, expose, debunk, and reinterpret. So don't initially come in mesmerized. Come in and go there. If we're not starting from the same place, there's going to be areas where we disagree. There's going to be some things that get orange flags and red flags. Like, be aware of that. And then priority 3, learn what we can from these incomplete models. And often this, all the way back to Jay Adams, this was called the provocative role of secular counseling. It should provoke us to ask questions that were not intuitive or natural to us as we ask. So that's Cure of Souls and Modern Psychotherapies. That was in 2007. Second article, if your readers wanted, or your listeners wanted to go to it, David wrote an article still in the Journal of Biblical Counseling. How does Scripture teach us to redeem psychology? And that was in 2012. So like if this is just sparking curiosity, that's not just did David, but how David went about doing that. So it is somewhat interesting to me that we use the term historic for something that is the same age as Nike tennis shoes and Post-it notes.
Yeah.
Like all of those things, biblical counseling, Nike shoes, and Post-it notes showed up around 1970. Now, redemptive counseling, that's a term, I think I coined it because, we mentioned earlier, there was Nouthetic Counseling, NANC, changed name to ACBC. And for a while, like if folks in the Nouthetic tradition weren't crazy about something that I did, they would go, look, that's not really Nouthetic counseling. With the name change, that was lost. So how do we distinguish ourselves? And so it said, hey, maybe folks like me, kind of stemming off of some of that Powlison language, how do we redeem psychology? We call what we do redemptive counseling. Maybe my Nouthetic brothers and sisters, they kind of refer to what they do as expository counseling. Like it was an attempt to share the big name while still getting some of the clarification underneath that.
Yeah.